So in this particular video, let us try to understand the different procedures which are present for creating different geometries in Revolve option, using the Revolve option. So for example, let me just go to the Google Chrome, and if you can see on the right hand side, I have a launch vehicle present over here, and I have already mentioned you that we can create this kind of geometries using the Revolve command. But if you are observing this particular geometry, you can see a variation over here, that is with respect to the additional components that are present. So if we are using the Revolve command, we can create the central launch vehicle. But what about the additional boosters which are connected? The purpose of boosters in the rocket is to add more energy. They carry propellant or the fuel inside them, and they add or they burn the fuel to generate more power for generating or more thrust for pushing the rocket forward. So again, if you are observing the cross section of this particular boosters, they are axisymmetric and they can be created using the Revolve command. So how do I create this particular additional boosters in a single geometry after the creation of the main central launch vehicle? So let us try to create the launch vehicle first. So I'm following rough dimensions right now, so need not worry about it, because this is just for explanation purpose. So I'm going to Revolve command and selecting the plane, and let me create the central launch vehicle with a closed loop. So by default, the vertical axis is the axis of revolution in this particular case. So one thing you have to remember, in order to create a revolved geometry or an axisymmetric geometry, you require two things. The first thing is you obviously require a sketch. The sketch has to be the half part of the cross section. Okay, and the next important thing is the axis, which will be considered as the reference for sweeping the sketch. Clear? So we have this cross section ready with us, that is the half cross section, that is the right side of the launch vehicle, and we have the axis, that is the vertical axis. So we are satisfying both the conditions. We can press OK, and we have to select the y axis. So you have the figure ready with you right now. So I repeat, this is not the dimensions what are actually considered for creating a rocket. This is just a sample purpose. Okay, so right now just imagine this is the main launch vehicle right now, and you have additional components over here, right? So let us try to see the procedure for creating this particular boosters which are present on either sides of the rocket. So let us try to consider the plane first and create on the Revolve command. So conventionally, I said you that I require a sketch. So let us try to create a half sketch at this particular location. Okay, now for the main launch vehicle or the main section, if I have considered the vertical axis as the axis of revolution, and if I'm considering the same axis for this particular cross section, what will I get? I mean, will I get a booster or will I get some other geometry? So I believe I will be getting some other geometry. So before that, let me just try to modify the top section. So let us see what will I get over here. I'm selecting the central axis. Look, I'm getting a ring over here, but I'm not getting a booster. I want the booster to be revolving and at this particular location, but not with respect to the central axis. So in this particular case, I need to create an axis first. So let us go to the next video and continue the designing of this.